right, theoretically, clicking the start button should have just made things work, but we'll have to see if that's the case. Give me just a second. Did that work or not? We'll have to see. Hopefully it will. Let's see. So far, anything? Anything? Oh boy. Maybe the first hiccup. Ooh. Ooh, interesting. Oh wait, there we go. YouTube, you're taking donkey years to get this done. Okay, hang on guys. You may notice like a little blip in the stream in just a second. I just have to keep an eye on it and see if something's actually happening. So give it just a moment. Yeah, that too. Okay. All right, this is going to be the first stream of the year. And hopefully it will work. If you guys can hear me, let me know. But it may be having some trouble. Okay, apparently the stream is starting. And now I just need to be patient. Huh. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, finally. Oh my gosh, it took forever. It took absolutely forever. So hang on. Hopefully it should be working. I might need to tweak some things. Yeah, give it just a second. I'm trying to see how bad the delay is. I think because there have been so many storms, the servers are very delayed today. So if they're so super delayed, I may go ahead and turn down the latency. But I think it's a little late for that. No pun intended. All right, so hang on. I'm going to do a quick test to see how long it takes in between doing something. I'm going to set a timer, a stopwatch really quickly. Welcome. This is the very first test stream. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clap and then I'm going to hit the stopwatch, or I'm going to be like, boom. Okay. How long does it take to clap in the stream? Let's see. Let's see what my delay is. And then once we figure that out, I can start talking to you guys. Welcome, guys. This is going to be the very first... okay, almost there. I'm moving my hands in the playback. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, hang on. 27 seconds of delay. That is a little bit darn much. It won't let me change it now. Hang on one second. But I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Let me know if you guys think there's too much of a delay as we get going. Just know there's like 27 seconds of a delay today. I think that's actually because we have so much snow outside right now. It is just like, it's probably half a fox squirrel thick right now, and it is continuing to come down. So we're gonna have to go ahead and see. Oh my gosh, people were expecting the giraffe onesie. I actually thought about putting the giraffe onesie on. So I was considering wearing that, but I'm actually pretty toasty in this really cute little sweater shirt. But hello everyone, it is very good to see you. We will try to survive with the delay. It'll probably get better now that we have everything up and going. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful start to your year. Oh my goodness, it's 2019. I can't believe I haven't spoken to you guys like this since 2018. How are you guys doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, Callium, Backlog, Peaches. Oh, Peaches, I'm happy that you're here too. I'm glad. Yeah, thank you guys so much for your patience. We're going to be figuring out some of these bumps with live streaming because I want to do a lot more. That is a big goal that I have for the year, and hopefully a goal that I can make happen very soon in like real life. What am I trying to say? Very soon. I've been working pretty much nonstop since we got home early January on like preparing things and recording and making plans. And my goal is to have everything laid out so that I can have a lot more time to stream and put my energy into that, because the videos for that day will not be done that day because that is definitely an energy killer. Long story short, I miss Mew, or not Mew lives, but I miss like our Sims 4 streams, and I want to have like relaxed streams with Animal Crossing and relaxed tea streams where we just kind of sit and chat. So I'm so excited to see you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, Callium, I hope that you're safe with all of that snow. Redaroo, hey, it's so good to see you. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, thank you, Delphron. Delphron, it's so good to see you. You know, I just finished cleaning my office to kind of reinvigorate and get into the new year, and I just wanted to bring all of the green, happy energy in. And so I went through and I cleaned out a whole bunch of my older stuff. I wanted to like open up my drawers and only have what I needed inside of it. And when I was doing that, I actually found some very old fan letters that I hadn't put into my binders yet. And some of them were from you, Delphron. And it was just really surreal to see some of the very first letters you sent me. And then remember, that was so long ago, and everything that you've done since then. It was really, really cool. Oh my goodness. Oh, I missed you guys too, Lily. It was really, oh, good, Peaches. I'm glad the delay doesn't seem like much of a delay too. Good. Yeah, exactly, Renee. The streams are great for a community vibe, and I have missed that so much. I think that that is kind of like the warmth that I'm looking forward to getting through winter on, especially if you guys happen to enjoy just rambling and Animal Crossing and Sims and the usual things that brought many of you here, like Niche. By the way, we just had a new niche series start today, The Age of Ice, and that's because I was checking in on the niche random generator for challenges, and this challenge just popped up and I couldn't go away from it. I had to try it out, but the Cookie Tribe will be back very soon. I just needed something a little fast and funny to kind of get back into niche to start off the year. Mini adventures. Oh, Delphron, you saw that in the vlog. I'm so glad you saw when I found your letters. It was really cool. Gosh, and yeah, you guys have a lot of snow. And you should be able to see my birds in the background. That's right, Callium. Chickenberry is right here. And then we have Strawberry, Pumpkin, and Ossei Jr. Those are my 4 birds that I still have. And then right here, this is my Christmas present from Chips. This is so cool. This is a Arrow Garden. And they sound really fancy, but it's an Arrow Garden, AERO garden. And basically they have little slots that you put these tubes that have a special spongy dirt and seeds into, and you fill it up with water in the basin and add in the nutrients that they give you. And then it has a little display that will tell you when to water it. You can set it to grow veggies or flowers and things like that. So it'll change how long the time of the light is on. And it will remind you when to add water, when to add nutrients, and you can adjust the light height so as the plants grow, you can pull the light higher. And it's actually a lot simpler. I could probably rig something up like it using just some like smart timers and, you know, a calendar now that I actually own one, but it's so fun. We have seedlings coming up. We have lettuce seedlings and a flower that Chips picked out, and I've got a pea for my year of peace, which I'm very excited about, and I have some petunia seedlings that just sprouted today. I've been meaning to do a vlog to show you guys those things because I'm really excited to have living plants growing in my office in the middle of winter. It feels really, really good. It feels like balance and joy having those little tiny green sprouts growing day after day. So yeah, highly recommend it if you have a hard time getting through winter. Just like a grow light and some sprouts, in the corner of your eye all day can really change your mood quite a bit, at least if you love green things as much as I do. But all right, so ramble, ramble, ramble. Yeah, Retta, I hope that you're safe for the snow too. Yeah, it's the year of peace, spring leaves. So I'm going to be growing pea plants, and we're actually going to be doing for the patron trees this month or next month. This month, we're going to be doing bean sprouts, which I know beans and peas aren't the same thing, but I have to kind of adjust and make do where I can. So we're going to be working on that. And then let's see. Yeah, the year of peace. That is my vibe for the year, Peaches. Okay, this is a Q&A stream, and here I am rambling as usual. But if you guys have left any questions, let me actually see if I can pull up a second page to read the alert replies. That would be nifty. Give me just a second. Before we get going, for those of you guys who are here, do you have, for the new year, for our plans, for the new year, for the adventures I'm hoping to make, or just some fun random questions that have been rolling around in your head and feel like the vibe of greenery that you want to share, do you have some questions? I'm going to just take the questions from you guys right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and peek into the questions that have been left in alert replies for people who aren't here, and I will answer as many of them as I can. So if you're watching this back like later, don't worry, I'm gonna answer some of your questions if you left them. And I'm a sucker. I don't know if you guys know that, for Q&A things. I love Q&As that people do. I will watch Q&As of people whose videos I don't even watch, like other gaming YouTubers, just because I want to know more. I'm so curious about what their answers to things will be, because I'm a curious person, right? So Q&As are actually one of my all-time favorite things because they're like creative prompts. And if there's something that I just really get a lot of questions for, or you guys enjoy, and I don't know, I kind of want to do them again. I used to have entire Q&A series, and I really kind of missed that because it was a lot of fun. But all right, let me pop over here. Crystal Alpaca, hey! It's so good to see you! Also, I love the Critter Room live stream too, Callium. That's always so fun. There we go. And there's not been too many public update things lately, actually, Lily. That's kind of the fun of doing these private patron chats. I can really give you guys sort of the secret info about stuff going on behind the scenes. And if you've been checking out my little like Seri alert channel, I'm starting to share some more sneak peeks, but I'm trying to get much more selective and only share the sneak peeks that I've already completed. Because there's nothing like showing people really fun goodies that are only half done and then getting distracted, or you can't actually finish it in the time you thought you could. So if you see a sneak peek in my alerts, like my Seri alerts channel, it's something that I've already either completely finished or is something that is definitely gonna be done. So it's no longer like just teasing myself. And then also, there will be some things like I just had this random idea for a Sims 4 creature crossbreeder series with kind of a evil but not maliciously evil alien who runs the lab, and lab assistants who will be you guys as patrons if you want to submit a sim cell for a sim, helping to take care of the animals. And I did talk about that in alert replies, and it doesn't have a lot of planning, but that's because I need some lab assistants created first. So there'll be some things where like you're in very early on the planning of what could potentially be a project, but for the most part, I'm trying to share fun behind the scenes stuff of things that I'm secretly like really squealing about, and I'm really kind of antsy, and I'm so excited for you guys to be able to see what it is. So if you see something in there, then know that it's probably going to be like something that's actually done and going up, so we can all get really excited about it. But anyway, I ramble and ramble. Oh, yay! Peaches, I'm glad. Yeah, I really love Q&A videos because they're super relaxing too. Yeah, Delphron, the greenhouse vlogs are kind of like that as well, now that you mention it. And I like that my vlogs are, when I make them, they're kind of for me so that I can remember how good life is. But I also like that they're kind of like, for the most part, with some notable exceptions, normal people vlogs, because I worry sometimes, like when I think about my little niece, if all she sees are people whose daily lives seem to be really big and loud, I worry that she'll miss out on developing the skill of appreciating the small things, like the snow flurries going overhead, or the fact that my little garden has more sprouts, or that my tea tastes good. So for me, I really love making my vlogs, even if they're kind of quiet, humble things, because they kind of give me a sense of strength in the humble day-to-day life, and I really like that. But anyway. Let's see. All right, let me come back. Oh, and Crystal Alpaca, I did find your washi tape. I did. I did indeed, and Maleficent sounds great. But all right, so I'm glad you guys would look forward to some more Q&A videos, and that will be something that I will definitely look into doing in the future. Oh yeah, the mug handle! Delphron, check it out. It's right here. This is a giraffe. This is a really cool giraffe mug that I got on Etsy from Nikia Creations, and it was a green giraffe tea mug. There's no way I could possibly resist that, right? It's one of my favorite ones because it just makes me feel really calm when I hold it. All things giraffe. All right, but let me go ahead and glance over some of the questions and alert replies for the people who aren't here and watching back. And if you guys have any other questions or you want to know more about something, just shout them out in the little chat and I will be very happy to go ahead and catch up with you. Let's see. And I'm so glad you love the mug. It really is one of my favorites. Nikia Creations on Etsy. She also makes like octopus keyring holders and a few other things. That's another thing I kind of want to do with my vlogs, is just like highlight other creations, creators, interesting Instagram pictures I find, because the world is really full of fun discoveries. Whenever I get really kind of like stir crazy or a little bit down, I've started to make a game out of trying to discover like 5 or 10 things, like jump on Instagram and keep going until I see a picture where I'm like, whoa, that's a polar bear. And then I can mentally check off like, yeah, polar bears are cool, like one discovery. Or I'll look outside and I'll see like the little poodle a miniature poodle who lives nearby running in the snow. That's another discovery, like check number 2. I don't know, that I guess now that I'm saying it out loud, that kind of sounds a little silly. But I just love keeping my eyes open for discoveries all day, and sharing them too. If only I could get a new phone so I could update Instagram more often. But anyway, a gnome mug, that sounds adorable, Delphron. All right, I'm gonna just dive right into the questions. I know Wistyfish is not here because she said she had a hair appointment, but she says, what plant would you recommend to a newbie at keeping plants? Oh my gosh, Delphron, by the way, that gnome mug is so cute. Oh, I need to show that to Chips. He loves that meme. You've been gnomed, that little meme. I don't understand memes, but he loves them. There we go. All right. Hopefully that will make him, hopefully that'll make him laugh. He loves that meme, so that's really fun. There we go. I got him. I got him good. That's what he gets. That's what he gets. All right. I'm gonna stop harassing Chips. He's probably busy like studying ancient Chinese texts downstairs for all I know. But new plant, Wistyfish. It kind of depends on where you live. I think you live in California, if I remember correctly from what you told me. And you can grow a lot more in sunny California, or like if you lived in Florida, than you can in the cold reaches up here in Michigan. But a good plant that I find nigh impossible to worry about or kill is actually called the Z plant. Z plant. That's its like nickname. And they're actually what I have up in the plant wall, because the plant wall, for those of you who don't know, has died a lot. It has died many times. It has been withered to a crisp and crumbled into nothingness multiple times because Bless her heart, my birdie babysitter does a great job keeping the birds and the geckos alive. She does not do a great job keeping my plants alive. The plant wall has suffered many apocalyptic ends. And I would come home and my plant wall would just be dead. And the only thing that was not dead ever in my plant wall was the Z plant. The Z plant grows if you give it extra water. It just kind of sits there if you don't. It doesn't care about the fact that it's up in the shadows most of the time. If it has a lamp near it, it will grow. And if it doesn't, it'll just sit there and won't die. So I really love the Z plants. They're like impossible to kill. And I actually was really excited, ironically, when I went to a hospital once, because I was walking past the plants and I realized that in this dim alleyway going through the hospital corridors, there were live plants. And I looked closer and they were Z plants. So if Z plants can survive in the cold, dim corridors of a hospital and grow to be really big because they had these big pots, then I think they can pretty much grow anywhere. So if you want to get a new plant and you're totally new at it, try a Z plant. I order mine on Amazon, actually. Because you live in California, I don't know if there's restrictions because they're very strict about what kind of plants. At least I think you live in California. You live on a coast, if I remember what you said. But there's very strict restrictions on what kind of plants you can import in California. But I think a Z plant would be okay. Yeah, it's a really good plant, guys. Hey, yeah, it is a really cool space pod. We talked about my space pod chips. Yeah. This is my little arrow garden that you guys know about already because I talked about it. But this is one of my favorite things in the room. I drag chips in every morning and I'm like, look at the new leaves. You have to see how they're doing. Oh, Crystal Alpaca. Yeah, I've never been able to keep a bonsai alive. And the last bonsai that entered the family group, like not just Chips and I, but like of anybody in my family I know who had a bonsai, well, the cat ate it. So yeah, we don't have a very good track record with bonsais. But yeah, oh yeah, we were praising it to the high heavens, my love. Don't you worry. I love my little space pod. All right, but yeah. So when it comes to plants, apparently, applantively, maybe? Okay, I'm pushing it with the puns already. There's lots of people in the Patreon who apparently know about really good plants, but Z plant would be my number one go-to. Yeah, the cat ate the bonsai. That poor thing. All right, and actually, speaking of cats, Pixie Fairy asked, do you want a cat or dog in the future? We do not have cats right now. So when I speak of the cat who ate the bonsai, I'm talking about a family cat that one of my family members owns. Pretty much in fact, let me think about this. Other than my younger brother, other than one of my younger brothers, every single person in my family owns a cat. More than one, usually. In fact, let me think. Every single person in my family, every single family group has at least 2 cats, if they have a cat at all. And only my baby brother, who is saving money to buy an entire farm, that's his dream. It'll be a very long-term dream, but he wants to buy a farm in mid-Missouri, so he doesn't spend any money on anything if he can help it. He's the only one who doesn't have a pet. And he's the only one who doesn't have a cat. So when it comes to cats or dogs, we're kind of like a cat personality on both ends of both Chips and I's family. So we're surrounded by cats all the time, and I love cats. But lately, we're a little worried that we're becoming allergic because we haven't had a cat because we're not allowed to own one for so long. Whenever we're around them, we both have big allergic reactions. So we're going to have to kind of see where that goes. But ideally, we want a cat too. I would love somebody who is like a really big fluffy tabby. I'm a sucker for brown tabbies. They've always been my favorite cat, and really big brown tabbies are my favorites. My sister actually has one named Pokey, who's really cute. I'll see if I can get some cute pictures of Pokey. She's adorable, and she's a big brown tabby. The exact kind of cat I would want. She always is finding the cats that I want. If we could have a cat. And I actually am not opposed to the idea of getting a dog. I've raised puppies before. We've had dogs before. The thing that kind of stops us, other than the fact we're not allowed to have a dog or a cat right now, is that Chips and I travel a lot, and we'll probably end up going to Japan this year for both a kind of fun visit, but also a work visit. And in the future, we're probably going to need to go back to Taiwan, possibly for as long as a year. And we're going to need to maybe travel to Germany and China, and those are just for business. That's not even for pleasure. Like, that's just because he needs to do research in those countries. And I'm lucky enough that I can tag along for those big, long, months-long trips. So if you had a cat or a dog, they'd be pretty unhappy about that. So that's the other reason we don't have a cat or a dog. And then if we got a dog, the thing is my family raised and rescued Great Danes for ages. So I'm kind of a Dane person. I love Great Danes. I love their personality. I love their quirks. I love how lazy they are. I love how gentle they are. I love how safe you feel with them. The only thing I don't love about them is the fact that they don't live very long. None of our Danes made it much past 5 because they were all rescues who were already pretty old when we got them. The oldest Dane we had was Zoe, and she made it almost to like 8.5 or 9, so she was quite old. But for most other dog breeds, that's still kind of like middle age, and for Danes, they don't go much past 6, 7, unless you have a really healthy Dane and you're really lucky. So I would want a Dane, but they don't live very long, and also I don't think Chips wants a Great Dane. So that's kind of like the thing with a dog. And then also we travel a lot, and I don't know when that will stop or if it will ever stop. So if we did get another pet, it would be a guinea pig. So yeah, exactly, Lily. That's why we wouldn't have another dog or cat right now, because my finches don't care. Do you guys care when I'm gone? Chickenberry? Do you mourn me? Do you sit there all day and wonder what happened to me? Ossia Jr.? Strawberry? They don't care. They don't care at all. There's not enough up here to care in a finch. And as for my crested geckos, and many of you guys asked what pets I have 4 Gouldian finches, hopefully to be more after I finally destroy the evil air sac mites that have unfortunately taken so many of my birds from me. But I have 3 rescue crested geckos, and my crested geckos you can actually hold at a certain angle so that you can look straight through one side of their head through their ear canal on the left, and you can see straight through the other side out the ear canal on the right. So I like to kind of show people that, because you can literally look straight through their head through the other side, when I explain that they really don't care. And there's nothing up there to get attached to me as an individual. So yeah, my crested geckos don't care. And my birds don't care when I'm gone. If we did get another pet, it would be a guinea pig so that I could hold it. We'd get at least 2 or 3 because they like to be in groups. I love guinea pigs. I love their chuckles. I love their giggles. I love the way that they popcorn when they're happy. I love their personalities. But because guinea pigs are herd animals and they would be good in like their little group of at least 3, I already have their names picked out. Gwendolyn for guinea pig, and then Catherine after Captain Janeway from Star Trek Voyager. And then we would have Gwendolyn, Catherine, and Ginny Pig. So Gwendolyn, Catherine, and Ginny Pig, and maybe Isabel, if I can sneak a 4th one in. And they would have each other if we had guinea pigs, and they probably wouldn't miss me terribly much. They might a little bit, but they're not going to like bemoan and like mourn the fact that I went traveling for 3 months the way a cat or a dog would. So yeah, I'm glad you like those names. Oh my gosh, I would love Delphron. I already have like outfits in mind. I would make like a whole new YouTube channel for my guinea pigs. I think part of the reason we don't have guinea pigs right now, other than the fact our like rental apartment doesn't allow it, is the fact that I think Chips is a little intimidated by how much I love guinea pigs. I think he's a little bit worried. He's a little bit concerned that I have outfit sets picked. I've got themes for like their outings picked. So he's a little bit concerned. Oh, hey, Mad Cat. Oh my gosh, exactly, Delphron. Like, for any of you guys who have had guinea pigs before, you know how it is. You get some strawberry tops, and the guinea pig has forgiven you. You get a little blueberry, and you are now their favorite person again. So, yeah, that's my ramble on pets. Yeah, I actually would want to have an Instagram dedicated to my guinea pigs. I follow probably at least a few dozen Instagrams dedicated to guinea pigs. My new favorite guinea pig Instagram is called I'm Not a Hamster. That's my new favorite. My new favorite. In fact, I'm not a hamster. Let me go ahead. I'm not joking. When I'm trying to tell you guys how much I love guinea pigs, this is my new favorite guinea pig Instagram. And they're based in Singapore, which makes me excited if we ever needed to move to like Hong Kong or Singapore. Apparently, there is a very strong guinea pig presence there. Also, oh, spring leaves! Baby guinea pig! Yeah, I would dress mine up so much. It would be so fun. I don't think he's jealous, Lavender Rain. I think he's concerned about the fact I plan on getting them little hoodies and outfits and basically channeling everything I've got into my love of guinea pigs. But I have now talked for half an hour on guinea pigs. I need to answer some more of your guys' questions. Here, let me go ahead and move some of these around. I'm getting back into the flow of having a chat to look at and live streaming, so it does take guinea pigs and cats. Oh my gosh, Callium, that cat looks just like my brother's cat Thursday. He even looks like, oh, do I have a picture of Thursday? I'm trying to see if I have a picture of Thursday. I have a lot of pictures of giraffes. Does that count? And let's see. No, I don't have any pictures of Thursday just sitting around really quickly. Oh, isn't it so cute? Oh, I love guinea pigs and cats. When we had our Great Dane Zoe, she used to lay down on the bed with our guinea pig Robert, and she would like lick him from head to toe, and Robert would chuckle and do his happy guinea pig pops, and then he would run up and down this huge Great Dane's back while she laid down, just chuckling and popcorning everywhere. And I just will never forget that, because Great Danes are that gentle. Like, she just laid there and was blissful that this tiny little thing was running up and down her. She was a very good, very, very wonderful. Oh! Oh my goodness, you guys are expecting guinea pig babies! Oh my gosh! Oh, that would be so exciting. I love guinea pigs so much. All right, let me have a little sip of tea. I got a little too caught up in guinea pig chat. I am trying to answer some of your guys' questions. And yeah, there's a little delay, and I'm just getting used to having a chat to look at again. So sorry if I'm kind of like struggling to keep up with chat. This is good. This is kind of like getting all of the kinks out so that we can start doing our sim streams again. Oh, holy cow! There's actually a question from Oscar here that actually asks about guinea pigs. Oscar asked, you've mentioned that you'd like to adopt a small herd of guinea pigs in the future. What factors make you decide that piggies would be your ideal pet? And I kind of mentioned all those factors. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. And they also wouldn't be like heartbroken like a cat or a dog would if Chips and I needed to go to, like I said, Germany, let's see, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan for sure, Japan probably for his work. Like, those are other countries that we would have to, like the last time we were in Taiwan, we were there for 3 months, in which case the plant wall died, except for the Z plants. So my birds didn't care, my geckos didn't care, and hopefully my guinea pigs wouldn't care. So I wouldn't feel so bad, and it would allow me to still travel, which is not something growing up I ever thought I would do a lot of, but here we are. All right, so let's see. Man, I love all your guys' pet pictures. This is so fun. Mad Cat, I will be ridiculously excited. Oh, it wasn't guinea pig babies. It sounds like kittens. I will be so excited to hear about that too. Yeah, spring leaves, they don't care. Oh, and then let's see. Delphron, did you see that Elgato are working on an app to share the phone screen on OBS? You could do silly, chill Animal Crossing Pocket Camp streams. Yes, that would be amazing. Are you kidding me? That would be really nice because the only, like, I can't quite figure out how to share Pocket Camp streams yet. I want to do that. I want to do chill Animal Crossing New Leaf streams, and I want to do Pocket Camp streams. I actually have a Pocket Camp Instagram now. I am so obsessed with Pocket Camp that I have a Pocket Camp Instagram. I need to tidy it up and make it like good enough to show to people because it just is random pictures right now and I have to figure out how to edit the text. But I play Pocket Camp every day for almost an hour on my tablet here. It's much easier to play on a big tablet with a spin like this. But I'm actually biking for 20 miles a day right now. Every now and then I'll miss a day because I've been recording so much lately, but it's been pretty good. Like almost every day since we've gotten home this January, I've been biking for 20 miles. It takes me about 73 to 75 minutes. You can tell I've been doing it enough if I can calculate exactly how fast and how long it'll take. So for those 73 to 75 minutes, I will be on my desk bike playing Pocket Camp. I'm a little bit obsessed with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and would love to be able to just have chill streams with you guys and show off all of the things I have done because I play a lot of it. Yes. It's 20 miles a day, Peaches. 20 miles a day. 75 minutes of biking. I am determined to really make sure I keep those happy endorphins flowing. So it's been pretty fun. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited for the kittens. And actually, Evenite is not Evenite, that's how I say your name in my head. I hope it's somewhat close to correct. But Evenite is not here right now, even though he does an amazing job of constantly sharing the new adventures in our new adventures section. But related to Animal Crossing, he asked, am I excited for Animal Crossing for the Switch? And am I planning on possibly recording some videos on it? The answers are yes, yes, and of course, yes. I actually want to try to bring back Animal Crossing New Leaf, which backlog, if you're floating around, hopefully that will be something that you're interested in too. But I want to bring back Animal Crossing New Leaf and my old town at least once a week. I'm hoping to at least do like a Monday episode of just a little adventure. It doesn't have to be everything, but a little adventure in my New Leaf town. And I might even start playing behind the scenes to like gather up bells and things in my New Leaf town when I'm biking, because I have 75 minutes that I'm going to do something while I'm biking every single day. But I'm hoping to bring back New Leaf for videos and for streaming. So at least once a week, I want to do a video where we can kind of build up our town. And I had an idea because I realized Animal Crossing is one of those interesting series where it goes in real time. And that's a little bit hard to deal with when you are a YouTuber because like to have enough time to record something, to process the video, to edit the video, like get it all fancy and up, to upload it and to release it, to do that all in the same day is very, very exhausting. So because Animal Crossing moves in real time and I have missed so many events, or I'm going to be traveling every December, I will never be home for Christmas as long as home is not in North Carolina with Chips's family again, because we will always be with his family. So I might miss some of those holidays. And it hit me, well, clearly the answer to my Animal Crossing New Leaf problem is to build a time machine in the basement. So that's my new idea, is I want to start playing Animal Crossing New Leaf again, and I want to expand my house with Tom Nook enough that I can get a basement, and then I want to basically build a time machine by getting items that seem like they would go along with the theory of having a time machine laboratory. And we'll use our time machine to just jump all over in time by resetting my DS to having a different date and time. So we won't miss any more events. I can still record them, maybe even publish them on the day they're supposed to be there. And if we need to jump ahead or change days, we can use our time machine to do that so that I can use, hang on here, some of my cards. Animal Crossing New Leaf, and for those of you guys who are not into the game, bear with me just a minute, has amiibo functionality. Whoop, I spooked the birds. has amiibo functionality so that you can scan these Animal Crossing cards, and these cards will invite that villager, not these guys because they're NPCs, but the cards will invite the villager to move into your village. And if I was playing so that we were trying to build a perfect village, that would be very upsetting to have people move in and move out. But if I was playing that we're using a time machine to explore the timeline of that village, it'd be more fun to have people move in and out a lot, and I could start using my cards. And I have a few cards. Okay, I probably have a lot of cards, but I don't have as many as I want. I want to have all of the Animal Crossing cards because if I play Animal Crossing for an hour a day on my own time, you can imagine I'm actually a huge fan of it. And I have custom Animal Crossing amiibos that I commission from creators to make customized amiibos that don't actually exist in like the commercial industry, but I paid someone to make like a custom amiibo, Isabelle in her beautiful summer kimono. And then I have a custom amiibo June because I really love her, and she says rainbow is her catchphrase, and she reminds me a lot of myself, and she wears a hibiscus in her hair and the garden shirt. So I have a custom amiibo June. I have a custom amiibo Nat, a very old version of how this person used to make the amiibos. I have a custom version Nat, who is a bug catcher from New Leaf, holding inside of his net my Animal Crossing necklace. And I actually, and I showed it to you guys, when Ossii, my original Ghoulian Finch, passed away, I had a custom amiibo Ossii made so that I could kind of honor his memory. That's how much I love Animal Crossing. So, yes, I will be recording it for the Switch. I will be possibly even saving up to buy whatever custom limited edition Switch comes out, even though I already have one. I'll give that one to like my niece or something, because I love Animal Crossing. But now I feel really like really silly right now because I really love Animal Crossing. But I shouldn't be. That's what we're here for as Pixel Biologists, is to have a passion for the things that we love. So yeah, I'm going to be recording it on the Switch. I'm probably going to go all out. I'm going to be making a time machine in the basement of my New Leaf version so that we can jump all over time. If we were sitting here in winter and we wanted to visit summer, I might jump to summer. We might use my Animal Crossing cards to like summon up a new villager who would be visiting for the summer. I actually have, whenever I do really hard things, like yesterday I recorded 14 episodes, and the day before that I recorded 7 episodes of the new zoo crafting. I actually have Animal Crossing cards that I save to the side to encourage myself to do hard things, and when I'm done I open them at the end of the day. So, sorry, we hit on 2 of my biggest things. I shouldn't say sorry, but we hit on 2 of my biggest things today. Guinea pigs and Animal Crossing. I'm more than a little obsessed with both. But yeah. Let's see. And let me catch up for a second. Also, yeah, Delphron, I'm glad that you like that idea about how to do the time machine, because I feel like that would really let me have the freedom as a YouTuber to record whatever I felt like, or even to record multiple episodes in one day and move the dates if I wanted or needed to, so that way I will have the episodes done and up even if I have to travel. Also, there's a very cold little nuthatch staring at me from a tree through the snow. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm going to see if I can take a picture of it to show you guys. Okay. Oh. Okay, I got a couple of pictures. I'll show you guys that on like my Instagram after we're done with our stream. But yeah, thank you, Chips. Chips the girl. Yeah, I love Animal Crossing. But let me go ahead and catch myself up. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so I kind of went on a little bit of a ramble there. I'm getting back into the streaming. But all right, so oh my gosh, I've talked for almost an hour and I've only answered a couple questions. Oh, you guys, and let me check up with chat. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of cards and I want to collect the whole set, so I'm kind of obsessed with Animal Crossing. But right, and Evan, I also asked, yeah, excited for Animal Crossing for the Switch. We kind of opened up that kettle of worms and then the worms like just burst everywhere. So thanks for bearing with me on that, guys. And then Evan, I also asked, how did I meet Chips? And that is actually something that Beth Padawan Ketchum also asked. How long have we been together? How did you guys meet? And we met on OkCupid. I don't know how many of you guys know that. We met on OkCupid. Sometimes publicly I'll be like, we met online, but we met on OkCupid. And we had like a 97% match. And I was actually not looking for anyone to date. I was on OkCupid because I was a nanny at the time. And I was so desperately lonely for people in my age group. And I couldn't find anyone because we lived in this little suburb that was just full of affluent people who were like in their 40s and had kids in high school, and I couldn't seem to find anybody my age. So I got so desperate, I signed up on OkCupid and I selected the things that I was just looking for friends, and I didn't know that that's actually slang for like looking for just people to hook up with until after I did that. I sincerely thought it was just looking to be friendly with people as friends. So that was a little alarming. And I only had my account open for like 3 days. But in the 3 days I had my account open, I was matched with Chips's profile. And I just remember thinking that I wasn't looking for romance, but I looked at his picture and he just had such kind eyes. And I remember thinking maybe somebody with kind eyes like that is somebody I would want to get to know. And I was so flustered that I couldn't think straight. And I went to my garden and I did a bunch of gardening and weeding just to kind of calm down, stop shaking. I just want a friend. I'm so lonely in North Carolina. I don't know where to meet anybody to hang out with my age. This person's my age. He has kind eyes. He looks nice. Really nice, actually. Maybe I should message him. So I had calmed myself down for like an hour of weeding in the garden. I went back inside and he had messaged me first. And he said that I had a very nice smile. And then we started messaging, and within 2 weeks we were a thing. And the next year we moved in together, and we've been together since then. It's been about 5 years now. So that's what happened. But yeah, and the first time we met, I actually was also gardening again. For those of you guys who don't know the inside joke about potato bouquets, we were going to go on our first date and meet in person for the first time. And I was so super nervous that I couldn't hold still. And I still lived with my aunt at the time and her 2 little girls and another woman who lived with us through my aunt's church, who kind of like helped out too. And so I didn't want to like march a potential date person into an environment where I have my aunt and her friend and 2 small little girls all immediately pouncing on him. So I went out front to wait, and I got so nervous I started gardening, and I got so into my gardening to calm down that I didn't notice he pulled up. And so I was in the middle of pulling all of these potatoes out of the ground and harvesting a bunch of small potatoes, and a shadow appears behind me, and I stand up with all these potatoes in my hands, and it's him. And he smiles and I smile, and we were both clearly shaking with nerves. And I just looked down at my hands and I was like, here you go. And I gave him a bunch of potatoes, dirty potatoes, fresh from the garden, and that was the very first moment we met. So yeah, that's the potato bouquet story. It was really, looking back, it was so cute, but at the time it was just the most logical thing to do with my hands was to give him potatoes so that they're not in my hands anymore. But I guess stress gardening has led to good things in my life. Yeah, Callium. It was really fun. But that's how Chips and I met, and we plan on being Callium, or let's see, not Callium, sorry Callium, I saw a cake. Beth Padawan Ketchum also asked, how long do we plan to stay in Michigan? We're gonna live in Michigan for at least another 3.5 to 4 years, so he can finish his PhD. Chips is currently chugging his way through his PhD. He speaks more languages than I can like shake a stick at this point. And he's really good at it because he's now already conversational and he can read Japanese like that, which like he didn't know Japanese a year ago. So wow. So that's one of the reasons we're probably going to end up going to Japan maybe this summer. We'll have to see. He has to start writing his big, like, PhD thesis thing soon, and that's intimidating. They give you 3 years just to write that. That's how big a deal it is. But after we finish in Michigan, we're thinking about moving back to North Carolina because we both miss it so much, and also the climate's really nice, and it has a lot more outdoor birds that I can keep an eye on. And then also, Beth wanted to know, finally, do you ever plan on returning to Zoo Tycoon 2, or is the world too broken? And I actually do plan on, plan is the wrong word. It's not off the books. It's not currently in the plans because there's a lot of love for the Xbox version of Zoo Tycoon, and it's actually really easy for me to play right now, and I'm kind of hooked on the fact that there's 10 different species of giraffes. I want to see what those guys are doing. So I'm going to be working with the Zoo Tycoon Ultimate for a bit longer, but Zoo Tycoon 2 is never permanently off the books. It's always something where if it's a good time, I would probably rotate it in for a while, especially because I just love it so much. And then, whew, all right. Oh, and Chip the Girl, I did ask you, or I did answer your question about plants earlier in the stream, just to let you know. And then let me catch up. Wait, Azumi from Avatar? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about, Callium? Because I very much love Azumi. Oh no, Full Metal Alchemist! Okay, I was thinking about Azumi from Korra, Avatar Korra, which I finally finished watching all the seasons of and reading all of the comics of. All right, let me have a little sip. I've got almost for like 50 minutes and I've only answered a few things. So let me have a little sip of water and catch up with you guys. Tanya, I don't think that you're here right now. Oh, hey, Julie. Good to see you. Man, I need to rewatch FMA. It's been a long time since I've seen Full Metal Alchemist. But let's see. Tanya, I don't think you're here right now, but you did ask, what are the names of your geckos and any other animals that you have? How many are there? Okay, Chip, that is one of my favorite scenes. I completely forgot about that scene in Full Metal Alchemist. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot how much I love that. But names of the geckos, Midna, Maya, and Mellow. You may guess some of the games that I play by Midna, which is ironic because I've not actually ever gotten very far in that version of Zelda. And then Maya and Mellow. I don't remember where I got Maya's name from now, but probably because it was an M name. And then Mellow is my only male, and he's named Mellow because he's very laid back. They are my rescue geckos, my rescue crested geckos. I used to have 11 of them, but I sized down as time went on, and I could find people to take the others. And then we have 4 Gouldian finches right now. Ossii Jr. Ossii unfortunately passed away because of the terrible air sac mites. They're small, teeny little mites that get into their lungs, and they're almost impossible to kill in Gouldians. So I lost most of my flock over the last year to those nasty things. But Ossii Jr. is hanging in there. Pumpkin, Strawberry, and Chickenberry are all hanging in there. Ideally, I will have them cured in the next couple months because I have them on 3 different types of medicine. I have thrown out all of the stuff in their cage multiple times. I bought them a new cage. Like, this is a new cage. It was very expensive, but I just threw the other one out because I want to get rid of those mites. But if they get cured in the next few months, my mom and dad actually picked up a bunch of baby Gouldians that they are raising right now. So theoretically, I might have more Gouldians sometime in like May, but we're going to have to see what happens. So, oh, hey, Julie. I'm so glad. Oh, and what a wonderful thing that your sister loves zoo crafting. There's something showing up at 3:30 p.m. In other words, in about half an hour, which is why we're not going to go too long over time today. I think I showed it to you guys in my alert, but in case you didn't see it, there's kind of something popping up later that I think you guys will like. So that'll be fun. And then let's see. And then Peaches. Oh, hey, Peaches. If you're still around, you asked if I had to choose one of my series or games to live in, which one and why? And a few of you guys actually asked that question, I think. And I think the answer would probably be either my Sims 4 Cow Plant Challenge, because I really love that family farm so much, or zoo crafting, obviously, because it's literally already the home of my heart. Probably zoo crafting. Probably zoo crafting. I'm thinking about all my other series. I would die too fast as a nicheling because like their lifespan's like over in a second. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, zoo crafting. Those would be my two top picks. I actually realized the other day I love Animal Crossing Pocket Camp because you cannot be mean to people. The only options, even when you turn someone down, are nice ones. Like if there's a yes and a no, you always have the option of yes please or no thank you. There's never a mean, you can't be mean if you tried. In most Animal Crossing games, unless you had a pitfall seed. But even that, like if that's the meanest you can be in Animal Crossing, that's what I love. And I think that there's something kind of charming about the idea of a world like that. Yeah, exactly, Kaliam. It's a really beautiful world. And then let's see. Izzy asked, how do I balance energy between passion projects and the creative work that my job requires? The answer is that I don't have a good answer for that. I am finally just getting to the point where I'm figuring out how to balance my energy for everything that I do. I'm doing much better this time. Ever since we got home from this last trip, I just have been uncompromising and accepting the best way for me to create videos is to do them in batches, to just block all my distractions out, and to just focus for a whole day on one series at a time. And the results are that I actually have, at last count, I have 68 videos prepared all the way through March already. And that's not counting a whole bunch of the other series that I'm going to be starting up or kicking off. But when I look at that level of productivity and how I've still had time to read books, I've finished like 5 or 6 books already this month, to hang out with Chips, to play Mario Kart with my family. That's completely different than how it used to be. So I think the answer to how to balance kind of passion projects and creative energy for when it's also work is that you have to find your own quirky, unique boundaries. And I failed so often in doing that because I kept trying to use a template that would kind of appease other people or I could justify. And at some point, I think when you finally break through, it kind of feels like skilling up in Sims. When you finally skill up with whatever it is you create with and need to create more of, and you need to be able to do it like that, you need to be able to summon up the ability to do it. When you break through that, you're going to find, oh, I have to just do it my own way and I can't justify it. It doesn't make sense. It has rituals that people don't understand. It has goosey bits that people don't understand. It has parts that might make some people upset. It has parts that make absolutely no sense to anyone but me. But once you reach that breakthrough level, if inside of whatever you define as what you need for your boundaries, you have that energy that you can just immediately tap into when you need to, then you know you're in the right place. So that's kind of my answer to that. It's kind of, how do I have the energy for it? By having recently learned how to set boundaries that make 0 sense to anyone but myself and stick to them. And also checking in with myself constantly to make sure that it's a good spot where I can grow. But yeah. Osha! Yeah, and Evanite. Oh, hey, Evanite. It's so good to see you here. I am more genuinely happy, too. and I get to spend time with my family. I might make a pear frangipane tart tonight. I bake bread, I read books, and I still get work done. And I only managed to do that when I stopped, as you guys who may have seen my Vlogmas stuff know, when I stopped explaining how I was going to get that work done or why I was going to do it in this quirky, weird, sideways way. I just don't justify how I do it to people anymore. And I was amazed that that was where all my energy was going, was trying to channel my work and how I worked and what I did against what people's expectations of what it should look like should be. I don't know. I feel kind of like just somebody, I'm trying to say, like, if you're a creative person and you create, I guess it's kind of that cliche of like, they're just a genius. What are they doing? As you watch like some sort of painter stand on one foot with paint that they are insistent has to be in this order, and it makes no logical sense to anyone else, but everyone kind of oohs and ahs and goes, yes, look at that, they got another painting done, that's amazing, how did they do it? Well, they do it because they're standing on one foot and they lined up the colors so specifically, and everyone else would be like, what are you doing? But it works for them. Find what works for you. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, hey, Izzy, you're here. I'm so excited to see you. Yeah. Okay. But all right. I need to hurry and wrap up a few more of these questions. I definitely ramble so much. Thanks for your patience, guys. This is kind of like stretch. I just popped my back. Oh my goodness. Stretch, kind of getting back into the flow of things and people and being on a camera again and getting all of the things working again. So let me glance through. I don't want to take too long because the new season of Zoo Crafting is going to go live in half an hour, and I want to make sure that everything's good. Evanite, oh yeah, and you also, many of you guys actually asked about kids. I'm actually not interested in having kids. Chips is adamantly opposed to ever entertaining the idea of having kids. So no, we're not going to have kids. I actually was a foster mother, an assistant foster mother for many years. I talk about that sometimes. I kind of got into it by accident, as ridiculous as that sounds, because I needed a place to stay, and in Missouri, they always need more foster help, and so I ended up living somewhere as an assistant foster parent, and I lived as a nanny for 7 years. So I've been with babies, and I'm very good at taking care of babies, and I'm very patient, and I do love children. I used to teach children on the elementary level, but, you know, to be completely like personal, I think because I grew up being the caretaker, because my mom and dad are both disabled and my younger brothers are autistic and I'm the eldest, so it kind of was like plunk on my shoulders from 8 until I moved out. I've been a caretaker kind of my whole life, and I'm still I feel like even though I don't have kids, because I have taken care of and been a caretaker for the majority of my life, I'm kind of kicking back and like tossing my feet in the air, and I'm like, yeah, this must be what it feels like when your kids go to college. Like, that's kind of the place I'm at in life. I kind of feel like, yeah, my kids went to college. That was a very busy 18 years. So I got my nurturing out of my system, I guess. And I would rather channel the rest of it into just absolutely spoiling the snot out of my nieceling while still making sure that she maintains a good moral compass and grows into an intelligent young woman, mind you, or whoever or whatever she wants to be. So I kind of feel like I just want to channel it into guinea pigs and my niece at this point. So that's why we're no kids, but there's still going to be a lot of compassion, and I'm still going to be constantly figuring out ways I can sneak more obnoxious toys into my niece's bedroom. That's the gift aunties are allowed to do. But let's see. And then, what is my favorite all-time game? Evan I also asked. Right now, still Sims. I think it's in my DNA at this point. I don't think you could knock Sims off its pedestal of my heart if, I mean, Animal Crossing comes close. If Animal Crossing for the Switch just answers dreams I didn't even know I had, then that may be the case, that Like, oof, I don't know. Sims is so versatile. You can do almost anything with it. It has so many genres. It has so much history. It has so many different versions. I think Sims will forever be my favorite game. But when it comes to things that can immediately evoke just pure, unspoiled joy, I think Animal Crossing is probably the winner. So when it comes to favorite game, Sims, for the joy factor, it's going to be Animal Crossing for sure. But I have a lot of other games that I do enjoy too. Yeah, Callium, it would be Sims. It would be. And yeah, Delphron, right? Less babies means more guinea pigs. Yeah, Peaches, then you know the joy. If you're an auntie too, you know the joy of being able to spoil them. Let's see. And then I don't want to go too much longer because I want to make sure that the zoo crafting thing goes out properly. But Julie Wolfs asked, what are some books you recommend reading and what is your favorite book? That's actually a pretty complicated question depending on the genres that you like. And my favorite book really changes quite often, but I recently started a brand new Goodreads account. Goodreads is a website where you can organize like your ratings of books, you can leave reviews of the books you've read, you can make shelves worth of books that you want to read in your to be read pile. And that was one of my resolutions for the new year, is I want to continue to get back into reading and read a lot. I am a voracious reader. I love reading, especially fantasy books. And lately sci-fi and nonfiction too. So when it comes to what my favorite books are and books that I would recommend, soon I will share a link to my Goodreads account that I made as Seri, and that you guys will be able to see the books I've read and maybe kind of sort through them and get some ideas for ones you might enjoy too. So hopefully that'll be really fun. I have a goal to read like 142 books or something like that. I don't know why I picked that number. And we'll see if I can make it by the end of the year. So I'll share the Goodreads and I will share the Instagram once I get them tidied up a little bit more. And then Julie also asked, why did I start doing YouTube? Because it was faster than typing. That is the bottom line. Many of you guys who've been around for a long time know this story, but I didn't know what YouTube videos were for Let's Plays when I saw my first one on Tumblr from the Jessa channel's Sims 2 series. And it was just linked as an embedded video. And I clicked on it one day out of curiosity because everybody kept reblogging it. And it was her telling her Sims 2 story in video form. And I thought that was brilliant because here I was spending hours typing, editing pictures, typing to explain my Sims 2 story people on my Sims Tumblr. And being able just to record all of that and talk would be so much faster. So I decided to try it out. And after watching the Jessa channel for a month and not having any idea that any other Let's Play existed, I thought she was some brilliant lone creator who had come up with this idea on her own. I had no idea that there was anything else like it on YouTube. I didn't even know you could make money on YouTube. I decided to make my first Sims 2 video, and we actually have the anniversary. Out of curiosity, I put it down on my calendar this year, but the anniversary of my very first video is on February 11th, and that will be the 6th year that I have been on YouTube. So that's how I got started on YouTube. It was just faster. Yeah, Ebonite, I love that plant potting game. That's called Plant Tycoon 2. I might bring it, or just Plant Tycoon, actually. I might bring it back for future Q&As. I don't know. Maybe I'll do, like, Pocket Camp stuff if I can get that recorded. And then, let's see. And then, oh, Julie, yeah, I actually don't have any ill siblings. Well, my sister has some stuff going on, but that's her thing to talk about. My two younger brothers have autism, and we've always been pretty public about that just to raise awareness, but they're both functional. And then my mom and dad are actually the sick ones. My mom has lupus, and she's been bedbound since I was a child. And my dad has a spinal disorder that just popped up out of nowhere. He's very proud of the fact he's been in 3 medical journals because nobody can figure out what happened. But he has difficulty with mobility and pain management because basically his spinal fluid got in a knot at the base of his spine and people can't figure out why. And the only way to try to fix it and take away all of that pain and give him his mobility back is by doing spinal surgery that could leave him paralyzed completely the rest of his life. So because they're like, that's probably what's going to happen, sir. 90% chance this isn't gonna work and you won't be able to move your fingers or toes anymore. My dad is just like, right, not doing that. So that's what's going on with him. But I don't say those things for drama. They just have sculpted my life and kind of lead to the fact that now that I don't live at home anymore and they've got other ways to like take care of themselves, I'm still in that like, oh, the kids are in college sort of mentality. But yeah, so that's what's up with my family members. And then let me see. And Renee asked, what was it like to record my first video for YouTube? I honestly don't remember much, but I remember thinking that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I remember thinking that I wasn't nervous because I didn't think anyone would watch. And I was just very excited to actually have a more efficient way to tell my stories faster. And I looked forward to using it as a way to tell my stories faster. And if I could tell my stories faster, I could make my stories faster. So for me, my first video wasn't something I was scared about. It wasn't something I was nervous about. It was just one step in a way to adventure in my stories faster. And that made me excited. So I remember being excited to get it done so that I could hurry up and play more of my Sims Legacy. And I remember being surprised because it was a lot easier than I thought it would be to figure out how to use a video editing program. Much, much, much easier. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Chip. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like the stories. And Renee, as for shyness, yeah, I wasn't shy at all when I recorded the video, I don't think. I think I was a little nervous that I was like doing some of the technical stuff wrong. But, okay, this is gonna sound really weird in a way. That was 6 years ago. So take yourselves back 6 years ago, guys. I feel like a lot has changed, especially over the past 3 years, in really being aware that the stuff we do online will have echoes in our lives, will come back to us, will be exposed, will be commented on, will be critiqued. I feel like in the past few years, we're more conscious that if we do something online, people might have something to say about it. But 6 years ago, when you're just like a little nobody who just made a YouTube channel and isn't trying to get people to watch it, I didn't have a frame of reference for caring if people said anything about it. It's not like I didn't want people to enjoy my stories, but I didn't have any repercussions. It was still like playing pretend, if that makes sense. So I wasn't nervous because why would anyone possibly show up to say something about it? I didn't have a frame of reference for thinking that what I put out online would possibly get any attention. It was just throwing something into the void for my own sake at that point. And that is why I wasn't nervous or shy whatsoever. Yeah, and then all these people showed up. And then sometimes I got burned out and paralyzed and stage fright, and now I'm getting over it, and you just learn to grow into being your own goose. Oh gosh, I'm really glad that you guys love the earrings too. I got them on Etsy as well. I need to stay off there for my own good. Too many Etsys. Let's see. Oh, and Osha, I'm so happy to see you again. Yeah, right, Peaches? Yeah, Joe! Oh, Joe, I'm so excited to see you're here too. Joe, I still remember mutually following you back on Tumblr before any of that like really took off. That was donkey days ago. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I just was throwing my video into the void and was only nervous that the technical parts of it I would mess up on. But otherwise it was very freeing. I guess it's like creating art without any fear of the commentary on it, which is pretty nice. And thank you, Osha. I am. All right, let's see. And then, there's snow falling everywhere. All right, I'm not going to go too much longer because I definitely need to check in on things, but it's been so nice to hang out with you guys. Oh, all right. Let's see. Yeah, Trestle, I did answer about my crested geckos earlier. And I have not seen Chronicles of Ancient Darkness by Michelle Paver, or I should say I haven't read it. But it will go on my list, especially to possibly offer to my niece, because something called Wolf Brother about a wolf in the stone, or a boy in the Stone Age who befriends a wolf cub, sounds like something that my niece would love. And I've been thinking about trying to like get the same book as her and like read and then maybe Skype with her and talk about it now and then. I want to be a good auntie. And then Backlog, speaking of like kind of starting on the YouTube channel, Backlog asked, are there any games you really loved from before you started YouTube besides The Sims? And before I started YouTube, I had 680 hours in Civilization 5, the strategy game. I love strategy games. I love city builders. I am sad that the main channel doesn't love them too. Like things like Skylines, especially Civ. I love Civ so much. And yeah, I had 600 hours in that game. Endless Space is also another one of my favorites. I had like 300 or 400 hours in that game. So it's really kind of funny, but I guess most people don't know I love those kinds of strategy games, and I have hundreds of hours in them. I mean, you guys know by now that I love RimWorld. Like, I love RimWorld. RimWorld is like all of my favorite Civilization games and Sims had some sort of little hellchild baby of perfection, and RimWorld I adore. I have about 400 hours in RimWorld. So those are the games that I love that are not on YouTube for either very obvious reasons. And yes, I am thinking about streaming RimWorld on Twitch. The downside is now we are in a different era. Now I do need to be somewhat cognizant of people caring about what I put online. And with strategy games, if you're not like perfect at it, you can get on full blast from the public like that. So that's why like I stopped recording City Skylines, because people would critique that I made different areas like 2 squares too big and lose their nutter bars over it. And that's why I've been nervous to stream RimWorld on Twitch publicly, because I like playing it roleplay style. But let's all just take a moment to acknowledge that if randos came in to your goose girl playing RimWorld and I didn't do the strategically perfect thing, that could be very landmine-like territory. So I just want to use caution with that, but it is something I do plan on doing. Like kind of caution bedarned. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. So yeah, I do love that. Oh, I'm Banished. Yes. And I love Endless. I love Endless Space. And actually the Wings of Fire, Tanya, I actually got the first Wings of Fire set for my niece for Christmas because she asked for it. Yeah, people can be party poopers. And they do lose their nutter bars about anything, Chip, which is why you could, oh, what? Delphron. I didn't know there was a follower only mode. I need to get my butt on Twitch. That's one of the goals I have for this year. It's just with some of the stuff that YouTube has been hinting at in their creator updates and with the emails they send out, I do not think they're going to put the right minds into the driver's seat for making it a more comfortable user or creator experience for streaming. So I will probably be looking into moving onto Twitch in the future. A lot of you guys are super experienced about that. It's probably just back to like the making my first video sort of feeling, where you're like, this is new. I'm old now. I have to learn new things. And then you do it and you're like, oh, that was a lot easier than I thought. So I will eventually get to Twitch. And we actually have a lot more, Julie, if you've got some buffering, we've got a lot more snow coming down. So I'm going to read a couple more questions. Oh, Lily and Crazy Turkey Girl. Oh gosh, you guys have a lot of questions down here. I'm going to go through them really quick, just for like another 5 minutes. Let's see. Oh, and thank you, Delphron. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be on the like boo YouTube train when I mention the stuff about uh, like how it's probably better to go to Twitch for streaming. Just, uh, um, so I'm not just like saying that with just because it's kind of like the thing to say. I'm saying it because I'm watching some of the changes that I see day to day behind the scenes, and I'm kind of going like, guys, this is not user friendly, and I need to be in a place that's user friendly for my business. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's why I'm probably looking into Twitch. But let me go through. Lily asked, favorite mythical creature? Probably dragons. Probably. We're getting to the point where now mythical creature and like fantasy creatures that people have created for games kind of blur in my head. So that answer is sort of like, does a piranha plant count? Sort of, you know what I mean? It's interesting because mythical creatures traditionally were created from stories that people told in text. And now mythical creatures are created very vibrantly in games and in movies. And so when you ask me my favorite mythical creature, I kind of stumble because I feel like I have to think, are we talking traditional definition where it's in a book or where it has a whole bunch of myth and lore built about it? Or are we talking about a mythical creature in a random fantasy series that I read that no one has heard of? Or are we talking about a mythical creature in like a game? It's very interesting. Like if you asked my niece, what's your favorite mythical creature? I wonder if she would answer with something from like the Fantastic Beast movie. And that might make as much sense to her as answering mermaids, you know? So it's interesting to think about. So, yeah, Lily, I didn't expect that tangent of thought. Probably dragons because they can be so diverse, in the way that you define them. But I can't really think of any others right now. So I'm gonna have to give that some more thought. And then storyteller by nature. So I was curious if you had any interest in folklore and other spiritualistic based stories, lore, myths, or tales. Sometimes. I used to really love origin stories, the origin of humanity stories from all over the world and from different cultures. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of learned that who has told those stories may not always be the people from that like culture. And so I now have kind of like the older, more mature version of, unless it's from original sources, I don't know if I'm getting the authentic, real history, like the spiritual history of this culture. So now I can definitely feel I've pulled back immensely from being quite as interested or invested in those stories, unless I have the source documents like to look directly at, or a person from that culture to immediately address and talk to. Because so many of the things that I read growing up, I look back on now kind of like, holy cow, that was a very Western colonized version of somebody's spiritual beliefs that was completely off base. And that comes from also being in love with a historian. So that answer is a little bit more dry than you might expect. But it was something I was really into. And now it's something I approach very warily and cautious out of a desire to be more considerate, basically. Gosh, and you guys have so many fun names of different mythical creatures, so that's fun. All right, and then most obscure pet you've ever wanted to own, and yours would probably have to be like a savanna cat or a wolf dog, but most obscure pet, can I answer a giraffe? A giraffe. You can own giraffes. People do it. I could have my own giraffe reserve and just move out there. That would be amazing. And then really quickly, Crazy Turkey Girl asked, name some qualities in a chicken you need if you were to ever get one. And I would want I think I would want a pretty sweet-tempered chicken, basically. Chickens can be pretty aggressive with each other to the extremes, so I would want to have a little flock of ladies. I don't really care about any of their other traits, other than the fact that they were fairly hardy and they weren't going to be too aggressive with one another. So that would be what I would want. And if I could live on a farm, what animals would I share my life with? Chickens, small goats because Chips loves them, and giraffes. I would have my own giraffe. And my favorite type of tree, lately it's been the oak tree, a nice traditional big boy oak tree. It just offers a lot. I have many of them in my backyard. I like how big they can get because their leaves are that beautiful emerald color with the sun that comes through it and just lights it up in the summer. So right now I'm a traditionalist with the oak tree, but that answer will change depending on the time of year and my mood. And where is my fave place to live? Back in North Carolina, where we can be closer to family and where we can be close to the mountains, the beach, and the beauty of the home that we can build there. We're really excited to hopefully move back, but who knows where Chips will get a job offer. I could be talking to you guys from like Shanghai in another 4 years. That would be interesting. Oh, Joe, yeah, if you vlogged your chickens, I would absolutely be thrilled to pieces. And then I'm going to try to just go through your questions really quickly. I'm only going to give myself 5 more minutes because holy cow, guys, there's a zoo crafting episode going live and I also need lunch. But Chip the Girl, what's my favorite earliest book? For me, Amelia Bedelia. Because just like Amelia Bedelia, I take everything literally. How many of you guys know about Amelia Bedelia, actually? Because that was my favorite book series as a young child because I don't get a lot of nuance without practice. One of the reasons I read so voraciously as a child and now is so that I could understand people better because they confuse me. I'm extremely literal. I will take anybody at their word. Like if you say something to me, I will take it literally every time. And I have to practice not taking it so literally. So in Amelia Bedelia, those books, Amelia Bedelia, yes, she is fantastic. I love the Amelia Bedelia series. I'm so glad you know about it, Chip. Amelia Bedelia takes everything literally too. In the modern era, we would probably, and I say this like fully being like authentic. I'm not saying this to be like weird. In the modern era, we would probably say that she has very autistic traits because she takes everything literally. And that's why I identified so much with her growing up. Like, what was it? It was like, make sure you trim the drapes or something. And or like dress the chicken, for instance, is one I remember from the books. And she was a maid, and so in the books, her employers would tell her to do something like, Amelia, make sure that you dress the chicken for dinner. And so she would be like, okay, and go off, and she would make an outfit for the chicken, the dead chicken that was supposed to be for dinner. She would make it a little suit and dress it for dinner. And that's how literally my brain works. So I remember it was like a light bulb of love going off when I read Amelia Bedelia. Oh my gosh, please don't leave her with a baby. I'm better with babies than Amelia Bedelia. Yes, exactly. It's like that, Chips. Amelia Bedelia put the light out, put the lights out. And that's what she would do. Like, she would take the lights outside. And I am just 100% like that mentally. So I loved those books growing up. And I actually taught my little sister how to read by using Amelia Bedelia books. You can ask poor B if she ever like pops into the chat, just be like, hey B, how did you learn to read? Well, I scared her I put her on the second bunk bed, on the top bunk of our bunk bed, and I would read the Amelia Bedelia books over and over and over to her, pointing at each word. And I told her she couldn't come down until she could read one of the books. And she cried for a while, and I was a jerk as a child. And I told her, too bad, you have to learn to read. And she learned to read to get off the bed. And I'm not joking. That's how she learned to read. So she, to this day, can actually recite like the first chapter of one of those Amelia Bedelia books. So that's how she learned to read. Exactly. Yeah, Lily, it's exactly like that's how my head works too. If someone tells me, like the other day, like 2 days ago, Chips asked me to zest an orange. So I zested the orange And he was like, okay, put the orange zest into the stir fry. So I took all of the orange zest, probably a good 3/4 cup of orange zest, and put it into the stir fry. Like, I took him literally, and I didn't stop to think, oh, maybe I should ask, like, how much of it we should use. So we actually ruined the stir fry, because it turns out when you put that much orange zest into something, it's too bitter for human consumption. But yeah, it was quite the day. Anyway, I'm gonna answer just another couple quick questions. Chip, you also ask, if I had one book and one game to take into the wilderness, what would you pick? I would probably pick my Joy Journal, if that can count as a book, or a like ID, so I can eat, like some sort of identification guide, so I could entertain myself, or I could eat, depending on how I need to use it. And if it was a game and I was in the wilderness, Animal Crossing. So it felt thematic. Oh my gosh. And then let's see. What other adventurous YouTubers do you enjoy? Right now I'm mostly watching English Simmer. I'm watching PhD Simmer. I'm watching Zeshwin for RimWorld. I'm watching Avark's RimWorld. And I don't think I'm watching anybody else actively right now, because I'm working this month. I'm in work mode. I've been a working girl. But I have a whole bunch of other people that I follow that I add to my watch later list, which I use for the time that I'm going to be able to listen to somebody. But I've just been working too much to watch much. I actually canceled my Netflix account because I've got stories to tell. I don't have time for this. And then finally, let's see. I'm going to grab another random question. Oh gosh, there's actually several good ones, but let me see. All right. Sanderson fan from Cinnamon Bun, what are your favorite books of his? My favorite books are The Way of Kings. Well, The Way of Kings is way up there. I don't think that anything is ever going to pass up like The Bands of Mourning for me, because Stellaris is a autistic main character, and that meant a lot to me to, again, see a lot of my own ways of thinking reflected, especially the way she worries about everything, and so she has copious notebooks of list. I have copious notebooks of list. So The Bands of Mourning by Sanderson are probably my all-time favorite of his books, and that world and that particular series arc are probably my favorite. And then I think that I will have to answer these other things later, but my favorite New Zealand bird is the kiwi, 100%. But all right, it is time for food, time to stop yammering, and also in like 2 minutes there's going to be some new things popping up. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It has been so nice to chat. There are a few questions I didn't answer, but it was just meant to be like a chill Q&A hanging out together. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out. And thank you so much for freeing me to go get some lunch. So thank you guys. I have missed you, and I have missed this. And we will have future Patreon only kind of quiet chat times. Now that ZooCrafting is back up, maybe just sometimes where I'm working in the garden and we just want to talk while I tidy things up or sort. And then also, hopefully, some fun Sim streams and other niche streams and whatnots coming up later. But I'm gonna go get lunch. It's been fun. Enjoy your day too. Thank you guys. I'm gonna go now because in like 2 minutes the new ZooCrafting episode is supposed to go live and I need to make sure it happens. Bye. Oh, I missed you guys so much. Oh, have a wonderful day, everybody. I missed you.